I am speaking with Annamaria of the band Vajra. And now, you guys have let's start out talking a little bit about your new album that you just released. Irkalla is the name of that one. And I was doing a little research about that, and I had seen you talking about how Irkalla is kind of a part of like, it's supposed to represent like the underworld. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. So Irkalla is the Sumerian word for the underworld. This first album's part of a trilogy of albums that explores consciousness. So this album explores the lowest level of consciousness. And this Sumerian word for the underworld is a metaphor for this perception of existence, of consciousness that's the lowest level of consciousness. So it's like ego, superficiality, materialism, lie, cheat, steal, that sort of thing. So these concepts are explored in the album, lyrically and musically. And I got on this kick with the Sumerians because I was exploring. I know, it's just like, I was like, what? But it's just, I was exploring. I was thinking about where we are in Western culture. We have one God. Why do we have one God? And why is the God male? And why do we seem to have an imbalance between the masculine and feminine energies? And so I started to look through cultures and civilizations, and it brought me to the first civilization, which is the Sumerian civilization. And I kind of got stuck there. So here we are with the Irkalla.
Okay. And then, you said that this was going to be, part of a trilogy of albums. So then what would these next two albums, what are they going to focus on then?
The next levels. And I can't tell you what that means yet because, yeah, seriously, I sit, I meditate when I write the lyrics and the music. It's like a meditative process. Mm-hmm. And I also do research, honestly, which sounds a little weird, but it's all encompassing, and then I'll just kick it back, and whatever comes out is a product of all that. Right. So, yeah, we started writing the music for the second one, and I have all these ideas about for the lyrics and everything, but I still haven't narrowed it down. We're probably going to head back into the studio with Sahaj Tikateen from Ra. He produced and mixed Irkalla, and he will be doing the second one as well. So I haven't we haven't gone back into the studio to finish the formal process of it all. We just have everything demoed out. So that probably will be the end of spring, beginning of summer. But I've already started going into the headspace, and you wear these different hats. So that hat is now going on.
Okay. That's very interesting because I would think, like you said, you started doing research on this first civilization, and I imagine that there was a lot of information to, act as an inspiration for this album.
Yeah, truly. I mean, I started even teaching myself cuneiform. So if you look on the album, you see these weird letters in red, and that's cuneiform. That's a language, the Sumerian language. And I wasn't sure of my spelling, so I got in touch with this guy, Dr. Irving Finkel, who's the leading cuneiform scholar in the world, mm-hmm. and he's at the British Museum, and I was like, I'm going to get in touch with him to correct my spelling. And my boyfriend's like, what are you, for real? And I was like, yeah. So I sent him a message, and I was like, we're like this rock band, and we're doing this album, and I'm teaching myself cuneiform, and I just want to make sure it's accurate, that what I'm putting on the album cover is actually the real spelling, and will you help me correct my spelling? And he's like, yeah, I'll do it. So he corrected my spelling. Dr. Finkel corrected my spelling. It was so thrilling. And he's actually a bassist. So yeah, it's all intertwined. What it does is it inspires different thoughts, and then we relate it to our own experience. So the lyrics and the songs, like Maya, for example, mm-hmm. Maya is the Sanskrit, Hindu, and Buddhist concept of illusion. Okay. And it's the illusion of the self, and on a micro level, and it's the illusion of the world. So on a macro level. So on a micro level, what is the illusion of the self? It's the I behind the I. It's, yeah, I'm Annamaria Pinna. I'm 5'1". I'm the lead singer of Vajra. I have dark hair. But who am I behind all of that? And and those are the themes that kind of we explore in the song lyrically, at least, and on a macro level, it's what is this that we're experiencing? Is this all a dream? This reality? What is reality? All that kind of stuff. So it's just questioning where we are, as an individual, but where are we as a society? And I think it's just timely, because I think we're all questioning where we are right now. There's a lot of crazy time that has happened, and big shifts in how we used to exist and how we are existing now. Now, I didn't know that because at the time I wrote it necessarily, because we wrote this stuff and had it recorded starting 2018. We started heading into the studio and had everything pretty much wrapped up except for mastering before COVID hit. But these are themes that reoccur through history. They're themes that we all, different, culturally and individually, we go through at different times in our lives even. So I think it's applicable, generally speaking,
Right, yeah. And and it's interesting that you talk about this, because it sort of has a mysterious edge to it, if you will, an illusion, as you said. And I really feel like you can hear that within the songs of the album. I was listening to some of them here just before we did our interview, and of course, at times those songs are really rocking, it can really get you moving, but at other times, they're almost haunting, mysterious sort of music. I mean, is that what you were striving for when you were putting these songs together?
Absolutely. We approach the album as an experience. So we want you to sit in the experience as we sit in the experience when we write it, and then when we listen back, if it's not putting us back into that experience, then we haven't done what we've wanted to do. It's all energy work, right? And it's all colors and it's wavelengths. So the language of music, to me, is deeper than words, because we don't have words for all of these things that we still experience. And we know we experience on some level, but we can't explain it. But music can get us there. So it was definite. It was very deliberate that we do that. Even though it's definitely weird also, for people to hear, it's a little like, whoa, what is this? And that is the mysterious level of existence. Birth. Where do we still don't even really understand where we come from and where we go to when we die. It is all mysterious, but we don't need to be afraid necessarily. We can be on our toes, but it's a part of who we are. It's a part of our existence. It's a part of our non-existence. So, yeah.
Good. Well, very good. Yeah, no, I mean, it's all very interesting. And like I said, you can definitely hear that within your music. And now we've kind of already touched on this a little bit, mentioned it here and there, but of course this last year with COVID, it obviously threw a lot of people for a loop. And, I've talked with some other bands over the summer here, and, I've talked about how COVID has affected them in regards to touring and new music and things like that. For you and your band, was COVID a hindrance, or did it give you an opportunity to really work and focus on your music? I mean, how was that experience for you guys overall?
At first it was really crazy, because we're like, we're releasing an album, now we can't tour, and this is not the best situation to be in.
Right.
But so we sat back and we said, all right, well, if we can't do that, what can we do? And what we decided to do is to focus on our visuals, mainly our videos. So we created this story. So every piece of music, let me take a step back. Every piece of music on Irkalla has a video component, and all those videos fit together into a short film. We're still shooting, so we're not finished with this project. We're in the middle of it. But you've seen two of the videos, Maya and Sever the Tie, are part of that. And we create the stories based on the Sumerian like classic hero myth, the descent of Inanna. Or maybe it's more accurate to say it's not based on, but it's inspired by, because we've kind of we've modernized it, and we've made it something based on our experiences, because we can only tell our own stories, right? So we wrote the story. We shot everything ourselves. We edited everything ourselves. We did locations, makeup, costumes, everything, 100% ourselves. So if we were touring, we wouldn't have been able to do any of that. And if COVID didn't hit, we would have had a more difficult time doing it as well, because you'll see like some of the shots on the Brooklyn Bridge in Maya, there's no one around. That doesn't happen in Manhattan, so it's just usually mobbed with people no matter when, what time of the day, or night. So we were very lucky. That's exactly what we just took advantage of the time, of the opportunity. Times Square and Sever the Tide. It's almost desolate. That never happens. Times Square in New York City is all night, all day, whatever you want, you can get. People are out, tourists are here. It's complete crazy time. So we just took advantage of the time to focus on all that. Our summer was spent doing the videos, shooting the videos, and editing the videos. And we were learning on the fly. Dave bought the camera where he was learning how to use the camera. He jumped out of the Adobe ecosystem into a whole new ecosystem on the fly as we're editing Maya. So it was crazy work. It was insane. But we had the time to do it, so we did it. And we were very lucky because we got to do what we wanted to do. We didn't do somebody else's vision of what they thought the music was. We did what we wanted, what we thought was the best representation of how to present this music. So we're very, very fortunate in that aspect that COVID hit, that we could have the time to sit and to do it.
Right. Yeah. And I think that it definitely shows within your videos. They definitely have your touch to them. You can see that if you actually watch them. So yeah, I think that worked out well for you.
Thank you. I created the rituals all myself.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, good. That's good. Is there anything else then? Anything else? Obviously, if people want to learn more about you and the band and your music, they can do all that online, website, Facebook, all that good stuff?
Yeah, vajraofficial.com is our official website. All the links are on our site. Everything is there. We just received the vinyl. We have vinyl and CDs on the physical copies of the album. Nice. It's this thing, this like EP that we've included, which it's called Shadow Queen. It's raw, like experimental ritual music.
Okay. Right,
dedicated to Hecate and the Shadow Queen, Hecate, Inanna, and Ereshkigal. Some people will love it. Some people will hate it. It's like divisive, but it's a dedication to the goddess energy, who really guided this whole process. So we're really proud of that, and we're really proud to put together a package for our fans that will give them something tactile that they can experience the music in maybe a deeper way. Okay. So yeah, we've included like a ritual on the artwork and all that, and the lyrics are there and all that sort of thing. So we took a lot of time to put it together so that when people listen, that they can create their own experience at home in their own space.
All right, good. Very nice. And is there anything else you want to touch on or you'd like our listeners to know about before I let you go here?
Just thank you for listening. Thanks for listening. We have some more music coming out. Another single, at least one more single on this album, and then the next one is likely to be out next year. So next week, no, not next week, next year. So be on the lookout for that. But thank you. Thank you for listening. That's really the most important thing, and sharing the journey with us.